of questions. We'll go through them, the little Q&A. Again, you don't have to own up to the question, but if you have more follow-up questions as we get into it, feel free to ask more. Okay, so the first one was, are there any supplements you recommend? Creatine, BCAAs, all that. So I think some people know here I am a die on the hill kind of girl for creatine. It is absolutely the most studied supplement out there. It does the most for you. It is made in your body, so it's not foreign. It's just that we would like to make more of it. It is cheap and it does so much for recovery, sleep, brain fog it helps with. It's not like this, for some reason it got like stigmatized as is like you have creatine and boom, you like blow up into muscles. I've been taking it for over a year now and I didn't blow up into muscles anywhere. But it helps with recovery, clear brain. It's just, again, you may put on a pound or two. It is water because creatine helps you recover. It sucks water into your muscles to help your muscles heal. That is it. It is not body fat. You won't look bigger. It's not bloat. So if you're like, oh, I'm taking creatine, I'm so bloated, it's got to be something else. It is literally just water in your muscles. So I recommend it. Creatine monohydrate, short and sweet. I take Legion. Some of the brands that I do trust are BPN, First Form. There was one other one, I think, but I wouldn't go into anything crazy. Again, ask me and I'll just send you them. I just like brands that are, it's called double tested. So they have to send their product out to an outside source. The outside source goes through it, make sure there's nothing that God forbid you get in trouble with if you ever, got tested for something, or like fillers and stuff. Okay, so I just like brands that are double checked. Not a huge fan of BCAAs. They taste good in your water, so if you want to put them in there, it's fine, but they're not like a miracle anything. They're actually an incomplete protein. If anything, you can get EAAs. Is that the right EAA?
Yeah, EAAs.
EAAs. That's a more complete protein, and they taste just as yummy. So go for that if you want. I do not take pre-workout. Some people do. Again, I would just stick to brands that are clean. You don't want like the brands that, say they taste the best or they just have the most caffeine. You don't want to be like overstimulating or eating sugar and stuff like that. Um, any other drink stuff? I don't take anything necessarily for recovery. I don't do protein shakes, but some people do. That's not really a supplement. Um, Pills I take. So I am big on omegas because they help a lot with sleep and recovery joints. And we're all getting old. We snap, crackle, pop every time we move. So omegas are good. If you like, again, eat fish as much as you want, not every day though. But that's a good one. I take omegas. I take magnesium. I take vitamin D.
I was
I
gonna say magnesium's a big one.
huge. Take it, take it, take it.
But you also have to make sure you're taking the right form of magnesium because there's so many types. And I don't know what you take, CJ, but I have the glycinate, like the
Yeah, that's what
glycinate,
I
the
take.
magnesium, and I take it in a powder form. I'm actually drinking it right now. I drink it like every night in my water, and I do it. There's a good website that I'll send you guys. It's called Gut Personal, and it has all these great like clean ingredients, and you can actually take a quiz for based on like your gut imbalance, and it kind of gives you like supplements that would work personally for you. And like that magnesium I take every single night, and I feel like it's helped me through my pregnancy too, keep my blood pressure and everything low. And I feel like I sleep better when I drink it like consistently every night.
There you go. I take a pill. But yeah, there's different kinds. I can show you the kinds I take too, but I'm gonna be a little bit different because I now take from my hormone person. So I remember I told you guys last week that I got those results back. I'm gonna give you like the short version, and I guess I can do it in this question because it's kind of like supplements. But I had an hour and a half Zoom with this PA and the girl Emily, who's the hormone specialist, and it was super eye-opening. And very cool because after I got off this, about a week later, I had to go get an ultrasound on my, my like uterus because there was stuff going on. And I actually was able to like advocate for myself to my OB and like call him out on something. But so what they found was my testosterone is super low. Okay. So regular for females is like 40 to 100 or something like that, right? But remember, we don't really want to be regular. And we're going to chat a little bit about that later, like how you deal with family that kind of judge you a little bit. And I'm a 20, so I'm super low. Um, the Tim wants his girls, his people to be around 80 to 120. So again, very low there. That deals with sleep, that deals with recovery, that deals with putting on lean mass, that deals with libido, all that. Um, super interesting was my thyroid. So your thyroid, right, there's like a chain. Your brain tells your thyroid to produce T4. So your brain sends a signal to your thyroid to produce T4. Then your thyroid hopefully produces that T4. T4 is useless. You then have to convert your T4 into T3. T3 is the thyroid that we all think about, the one that makes you like, lose weight, have energy, all that, the good stuff. I had plenty of T4. So my brain is working and my thyroid is working. So I don't have hypothyroidism, I don't have hyper, and I can't have Hashimoto's, right? Because I have T4. I'm for some reason, and this won't ever really be figured out, not converting to T3. So I just have a bunch of useless T4 floating around with a couple of T3s here and there. So again, everything's working. For some reason, I'm not converting like I should be. So I'm going on a medicine. I'm going to try it out. That is helps me produce T3 and a little bit more T4. A lot of medical practitioners will put people on more T4 medicine. And then I was like, well, why would they do that if T4 is useless? Like, why not just give people T3 then? And his response was like, I'm going to go on my soapbox now and tell you why American healthcare is doo-doo, because they need you to kind of still not feel great, right, in order to make money. So I thought that was really interesting. Um, and I already talked to one of my girls on here. She had the same thing, right? Like her T4, her brain, everything was working, wasn't converting. So I thought that was really interesting. So I'm going to give that a whirl. And then my progesterone was really low too, and that's all about sleep and controlling my menstrual cycle and whatnot. And then what I thought also, next one, my cortisol, so your stress hormone, was like nowhere to be found. So I was like, oh, it's because I'm so cool, calm, and collected. They're like, no, that's not why. I've used it all. So like your cortisol runs out. So like if you have like a high stress life, it's eventually gonna empty out. Like your adrenals are gonna be like, this is all I got. Like I can't use any more cortisol for you. So when your cortisol is supposed to be highest in the morning, mine was still super low. So that means my adrenals just can't produce what I need. So I guess from, probably my childhood where I was, you know, very high into high level sports, the stress and everything just kind of wore me out. And even though I don't perceive stress that way, your body handles it differently. So even though I would rate myself like a 3 out of 4 on the stress scale, I've depleted those. So I just thought that again pretty interesting. For someone who doesn't label themselves stressed, your body can be telling you something different. Um, Again, very interesting. I'm definitely going to do like a deep dive more into all that stuff. So I will be taking the progesterone, a T3 medicine. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll remember it. The omegas, the magnesium,
Is
and
it
then
iodine?
no, I gotta look it up. It has it's like something with an N.
Sometimes they give you iodine with your thyroid too.
Interesting. And then it's just so I can be totally honest, guys. I'm going on the juice. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going on T, so hormone replacement therapy, but I'm going to do testosterone shots once a week. It is not anabolic, so no, I'm not going on the juice. I will not be busting out in muscles, right? I'm just trying to get my levels normal, but I'll be a little experiment for us. I have I guess it's my husband's aunt. She's 82 and she's been doing testosterone replacement since she's been 40, and Aunt Mimi is a smoke show. Her legs are like a 20-year-old. She's hip. She also drinks tequila on the rocks. She's a badass. But she is like, and she swears by it. She's like, we run out of these hormones and we need them. So I'm following Aunt Mimi's shoes and I'm gonna give it a whirl. So I'll keep everyone updated on that too. Um,
Before you do it, you should, if you have a lot of cancer in your family, you should just make sure that you're not genetically predisposed to anything.
spiking, yes. So I am good with the I got that test done a couple of years ago because my mom did have breast cancer.
Right.
I don't have Braxer, is that it?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
BRCA gene.
BRCA gene, yeah. So but
But if
yes,
you
right,
have the BRCA and it's hormone receptive, you wouldn't want to be on any of
right,
these. So I'm
right.
just saying, if you have cancer in your family, you should just do genetic testing
Yes,
beforehand.
completely right. Because a lot of cancers are driven by heightened hormones. That's why a lot of females will get cancer, unfortunately, sometimes after getting pregnant or whatnot, or nursing for a long period of time because their hormones are so raised. So good point.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. Any other supplements that you guys take that you like? Does anyone have like a pre-workout they love, they swear by? I'm a black coffee girl. Or any other supplements?
I guess like collagen too. I don't know if that's technically,
Yeah, it's a
but
supplement.
I take collagen every single day. I think it's important because obviously as you age, it like depletes. So I feel like it's good to take it. Like right now, being pregnant, I only do collagen and magnesium, and then my prenatals and a probiotic. But um, I actually did take, like, somebody asked about the L-glutamine with the gut, but that's what I was taking. But you can't take it when you're pregnant. And I did do I like the CBD drops. Obviously, I can't do that right now, but
Hmm.
at night I used to do CBD oil because it's like
I
a
do
little
that.
bit more
I forgot about
relaxing, and I have the worst sleep patterns, so I feel like when I did that in magnesium, I was like more relaxed at night.
I actually have a question.
that.
So like I my fiber is I'm making sure that my fiber has been increasing, but I am not regular at all, like at all. And like but I know that my fiber was always low, so my fiber is getting high and I still struggle. So I do take a fiber supplement because I feel like it's helped me be more regular.
Okay.
What do you have like feels or thoughts on that? I mean, if I feel like if I when I don't take it, I just can't
Do
like
you
Yeah,
I
totally.
can go like 2 weeks without going to the bathroom.
do
And it doesn't matter. I I
Gotta
just
go.
can't. I've always had an issue.
you
So
take magnesium?
Yeah, that's a big one.
I never really did. So I recently had my blood work done, so I'm just kind of going through some of this stuff while you're talking. Because I'm familiar with it just because of issues in the past with me. So I don't really take magnesium. And actually I think it's on here. One of the things that I think I was looking at one of the results and I even commented that I should start taking magnesium and I never did.
Yeah, definitely do that.
I think you should definitely take magnesium because that helps you become more regular too.
Yeah, it's big with bowel movements. Also, like I drink my reds and green powder, which I don't know if that again, it might be a big placebo, but I just think it helps with like gut. It has this like I eat a ton of vegetables too, but if I miss one, I just again the fact that I take it every day, I again the magnesium, I do think it might help, but I also think the whole bowel movement thing too. Some of us just get no pun intended, like the shit end of the stick. And I like, you just might never be like an everyday person, but definitely I would recommend magnesium. It helps with so many things. And then give like a red and green powder like a whirl just to see if it can help you a little bit.
Yeah, I would definitely do magnesium, and then I know you have your red and green. I like AG1. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
they're
have
good.
that one.
Yeah, they're on
And
so
I
many.
have like some like coupon codes too if anybody wants to try them, like from the podcast that I listen to. Because and they give you like a free one of them I was just listening to said if you sign up, they'll give you a free year's worth of like the vitamin D dropper with the AG1 greens. So I could put all that in the in the chat because I feel like I liked them. I would either dump them in a smoothie or just mix them in a water quick, but
Yeah, I do
I feel
mine
like
in
either
water.
way. You put them in plain water?
Yeah, because I do the reds with it, and the reds make it taste fine. But mine are flavored, so like even the greens are flavored.
You're not a smoothie girl.
No, I will never drink my calories unless it's booze.
I love
I'm not a
smoothies.
smoothie person either. So if I need, I would rather just drink it in water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I need to chew. Kara wrote that vitamin D. Yeah, that's a big one. Almost every person is deficient in vitamin D, so definitely take that. It's obviously goes you're a little bit less deficient in the summer because of the sun, but I would definitely add that to your regimen. Can't do any harm and only good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I just wanted to add in if anybody has CBD questions, I actually work on the side for a CBD company,
Oh.
like that's super clean and
Oh,
in
which
the
one?
United States, Green Compass.
Oh, that's what I take.
Yeah, it's probably the best CBD that you on the market because CBD is very poorly marketed. They think they make you seem like there's CBD for sleep and CBD for this. That's not really the case. But CBD is a great supplement. It kind of works across the board on for so many things. And just to follow up on the pregnancy thing too, if you take a broad spectrum CBD versus a full spectrum, you can take it while you're pregnant. I took it the entire time I was pregnant to help with sleep. And they make gummies and drops, and they have well, I'm sorry, what did you say before?
They have collagen too.
Collagen. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's CBD works with our ECS system. So what they always explain to me is that it's like a supplement. If you take it every day, it's like a multivitamin. If you only take it once, a multivitamin is not going to work. It's about being consistent with CBD. So our ECS works like a parking lot. Like if a business is super successful, every single parking space is taken. If a business starts to not be successful, like the human body, our ECS is the same. We go through a lot. All the things we're talking about that we get tired or stressed or all those things, our parking spots start to be empty. And that's where CBD comes in and starts to fill those parking spots for us and makes you feel better. So it helps you with consistency of all things, whether it's sleep or stress or pain, all of those things, CBD can fill those gaps in your ECS and make you feel more balanced and bring you back to like homeostasis is what they like to call it.
Kara, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So at my gym, one of the trainers does like a cannabolics table and it's all CBD stuff. Any stuff from that brand that you recommend or don't recommend? I've always been afraid to stop and ask because I don't know anything about it, but
So I don't know every brand on the market. The only thing I can say specifically about CBD about other brands is that knowing where it's from. So 80% of the CBD that's in the United States is actually made in China or grown in China, and it's a mop crop. So it soaks up all of the toxins in the soil and the air. So you want to make sure wherever your CBD is coming from, it's coming from a clean space. So Green Compass is in North Carolina. They have a third party outsourced quality control. So those are the things when you're buying CBD. Like I bought my CBD at a gas station before I knew Green Compass because you don't know all of these things. But the biggest thing to know when you're looking at CBD products is making sure it's clean and where it's from. And it shouldn't have any additives. It should be 100% a carrying oil. Like Green Compass is coconut oil and CBD. It should be hemp oil. If there's melatonin, anything like that, byproducts, it's not a clean product.
thank you.
You're welcome.
What a question. All right, Kara, we're gonna pick your brain more.
Yeah.
All right. The next one was on like gut health and L-glutamine. I'm gonna let Steph focus on that because we all again know trash can, not trash can. Her gut, mine just handles it. She can help.
Yeah, no, actually, this was like the biggest thing that I had to start with because when I had so many like gut issues, stomach issues, but I also always took antibiotics right away. That's like the number one gut killer is like an antibiotic. And I feel like when I was sick, I didn't have a doctor. I feel like my first primary care physician would just give me antibiotics for whatever I would go for. where like now who I see, she every time I go there, she's like, well, how's your sleep? How's your eating? How's your, she asks me a bunch of things. And when I was like nursing with my first, she would ask me, how is that going? Like, I feel like she really was asking me, like, how's your bowel movements? Everything about my gut. And I first started with like, obviously if you need an antibiotic, you have to take it, but I feel like sometimes it's overly prescribed. But what it's kind of, I don't know, you guys probably have heard this term, it's called like leaky gut, which is what a lot of people like suffer from, especially now. And what the technical term is like increased intestinal permeability. So it's like when your intestines have holes in them and what you're eating isn't really digested and absorbed, it's kind of going into your bloodstream, and that's what's causing a lot of like inflammation and not feeling good, and like chronic fatigue syndrome, because all this stuff isn't supposed to be in your, it's not supposed to be in your bloodstream, and it's not absorbed. And that also, what was happening to me is I was eating healthy, what I thought, and then nothing was being absorbed, and I wasn't being able to use what I was like thinking I was eating. And my favorite doctor, Dr. Mark Hyman, he always uses the example, your body's like a coffee, the intestines are like a coffee filter. You want the good stuff, you don't want the grinds. But when your intestine becomes like permeable, all the grinds get into your body. And it just made so much sense. And he always talks about how like to remove all the triggers and inflammation, to start with like an elimination diet to see what's causing it. My particular case was gluten and dairy. So I can't really eat gluten or dairy. I can't eat dairy at all, but gluten, like if I have every once in a while, I'm fine, but if I have it every single day, it starts to like rip up the lining of my gut. So every day I would take like a scoop of L-glutamine in my water and just drink it, and it helps like heal, because it is an amino acid, and it helps like heal your gut. So I feel like it really helped me, and it also helped me, like for anybody that's not regular, like when you go to the bathroom, it's supposed to be the shape of your intestines. So there's like, anybody ever see like the poop chart?
Yes.
And like it's, I like never, that I wasn't having healthy bowel movements till I went to like, I did the elimination diet, I took the L-glutamine, it healed my intestines, I ate all whole foods, like no shit, no processed foods, no gluten, no dairy. And for me, like, I'm not saying that's everybody, and you might, want your dairy and your gluten, and it might not be that, but in reality, really, a lot of people are like gluten sensitive. And the way like my functional doctor that I have now explained it to me was, you could have like, if you have a sprained ankle and you keep walking on it, it hurts. Like it starts to eventually really hurt. So I'm eating like all this gluten every once in a while, and it's just constantly like a sprained ankle that's not being healed. So I was like, oh, so she's like, once you give it up, you could see like how much better you feel. And then once in a while, if you want to eat it, you eat it. Right. So like the biggest thing for me was I did the L-glutamine, and then a probiotic and a prebiotic, which you could get from food. But if you, I think it's better to also take a probiotic, but like, I don't know if anybody likes fermented foods, but like miso, yogurt, like
Kimchi.
yeah, kimchi. Um, there's like a whole section in like Whole Foods with all that kind of stuff. Those are like prebiotics, and then
Those
with
are
like
the
the
real ones, right?
probiotics,
Like we eat them refrigerated.
what did you say?
The refrigeration ones are the real legit ones.
Yeah, and but some of them don't. Some of them it depends on the bacteria in the probiotic or the prebiotic. Some of them don't have to be refrigerated, but the best ones for the GI bacteria, I never say it right, but it's like bifidobacteria, like BIFIDO, and then like lactobacillus. So those are like two you want to look for in a good probiotic. Um, it's like good bacteria. And if you're on an antibiotic, you should take a probiotic twice a day instead of once, which is people usually don't do, but you should take one in the morning and at night, because an antibiotic literally kills good and bad bacteria in your gut. So, and I have like that one website that I love. It's the Gut Personal, and I'll put it in there. They have amazing supplements and they're clean. So, I don't know if anybody had any questions on any of that, but I feel like the biggest thing is like removing stressors, like finding out what you're allergic to. And if you take out like all the food, like an elimination diet, it still doesn't work. It could be things of like a parasite, like that's like, really getting into it. But if it's not a food like sensitivity or allergy, it could be something along those lines.
Do you feel comfortable sharing where you go for your doctor?
Oh yeah, she's in Smithtown. It's actually two sisters, they're Greek. Um and I can send you the information.
Yeah,
She's
so
she's amazing.
because like I'm a firm believer that like your body can heal itself and you don't have to always be taking like antibiotics or anything like that. And like since December, I've been dealing with like swelling in my face. And I've gone to my doctor twice. I went to an allergist last week. I went to an ENT, and everyone's like, "We don't know."
Yeah,
And I don't. They did food allergy. I don't have food allergies. They did an environmental allergy test. Nothing came up. Cats and dogs. So it's like,
Right.
and I I I need to go to a doctor that like can actually look at me like holistically.
yep. And yeah, someone like I feel like when I went to her too, she did my blood work, like everything, like everything from like all the vitamins, hormones, everything. And then she did it like 3 months later because I was nursing. So it's like, how everything changes like while you're nursing and like she just was, and then she just asks me all these questions that no doctor ever did. Like nobody cared. It was just like, oh, what are you feeling? Oh, my throat hurts, my head hurts. And it was like, oh, do you want a pill for your headaches? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, so like they prescribed the doctor last week at the allergist said, "Well, I'm just gonna give you an antihistamine. We don't know what, but I'm just gonna give this to you for take it for 3 weeks." And I'm nursing, so I'm like, I haven't taken it. Haven't
Yeah.
even picked it up. I'm like, I'm not taking this.
Yeah, because it feels like they almost like don't care. They're just trying to like get rid of, it's not like getting down to the bottom of it. It's treating like the symptoms. It's not treating like the root cause of everything.
Right.
Yeah, and I just feel like that was another thing. Like I don't know if anybody's ever had this issue, but like I suffered from like bad acid like reflux, and I was having such an issue. And even like my voice now is a little raspy because I was having like vocal cord problems, and my doctor was giving me those I forgot what they're called, the acid blockers. And I read about them and they were so bad. And I was like taking them for 2 weeks. And I'm like, what am I doing to myself? Because it's like, it's actually taking away all the acid in your stomach, but you need it. You need it. You need that to like function. So I wound up like going to when I found this doctor, um, she, she was like, I just need you to, she told me to drink like celery juice every morning, which is kind of gross, but I really feel like it helped me like heal because it was like a natural, like whatever was in the celery juice was like helping my, and I haven't really felt that way since. So I feel like you have to get to like the root cause of things or else you're just like masking all the symptoms. But
Bingo.
I'll put her information in the chat.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go from the I'm gonna pick one out quick. So one of them was you're on a cut, right? You have a bad day of eating. What are your consequences? I love this question because it cracked me up. Your consequences are nothing, right? No one's gonna come over and put you in timeout. You're not gonna all of a sudden slash calories the next day. Your consequences are that you slowed down progress, right? That's really it. Right. So if you're on track to lose a half a pound a week, oh, you're right there, Jenny. If you're on track to lose a half a pound a week, right? And you overeat, you're just not going to lose that half a pound that week, right? That it's really just slowing the process. You don't go and do extra cardio, you don't starve yourself the next day because you're already on low calories. You just kind of own it, right? And that's not saying that you should own a cheat day every single week in a cut. That's just not how a cut works, right? But there's no punishment. There's no, again, there's no now you can't eat this for this week, but you just kind of get over it. You move on. if you really, really want to, like, maybe be like 100 or so calories short the next day, not the end of the world. Also, probably not going to make the biggest difference. It's not going to catch you up. Main things is drink a ton of water the next day, because I'm assuming if you ate not bad food, but off track food, it was high in sodium. So drink a lot of water, flush it out, and get moving. Right? Just get back on the bandwagon. The biggest thing is to not get the case of the fuckets and keep that ball rolling of a crappy day. Put it behind you, get back to the usuals. Walk, water, work out, and start planning again, right? Really nothing else that you can do. Okay, and then let's do the maintenance one before we do the family one, because I feel like the family one is just gonna okay, so I've talked about maintenance a bunch, but I want you guys to really understand like why it's so important. So the question was, I'd love to hear your view and feedback, and from others too, right? So she wants to hear about you guys on the benefits of maintenance. So maintenance is for any of my girls out there, right, that are not in a cut right now. And some of you might be in a reverse, working your way up, but a lot of you are kind of out of that now. You're at the 1900 to the 2100. Some of you are at 24, where I was, marker, and you're just sitting at equal in, equal out. And I do think when I read the check-ins from my girls that are in maintenance, that you guys are feeling better, sleeping better, you're feeling stronger at the gym, your skin is clearer from the water. So those are all things that you want to focus on in maintenance. And yes, the scale can go down a little bit. Then yes, I guess we're not a true maintenance, right? But we're in that bracket. For people that hadn't worked out and are now starting to work out, we still kind of have to find your maintenance, because we're adding in workouts. But maintenance is a beautiful thing, because you can see body composition changes without sacrificing a low calorie count, right? You don't really want to diet maybe max twice a year, for 12 weeks at a time. So what, that's 24 weeks. That's like, all right, so I guess the max, right, is 24 weeks. So half of the year. I did my first cut, right, in the 3 years. If you're, starting a process where you want to continue, you're going to diet more in the beginning, and then you're going to slow down. Once a year is probably ideal, with maybe a mini cut here and there, but you want to live in maintenance. You want to eat as many calories as you're burning and focus on lifting heavy, so you lose body fat and gain muscle. Those maintenance calories they're there for a reason, right? Maintenance isn't just like hit these numbers when you feel like it. It's still a number that you have to hit. It's not something that you should be going over a ton or under a ton, because then you're not in maintenance. You're overeating or you're under eating. So the guidelines are still there, but it should be like a happy place. And again, if anyone wants to chime in who's in maintenance, it's pretty nice, right? You get a good amount of food, you should be energized, you should be sleeping better, maybe mental health will be better. I know I have a couple of people that like were pretty high in anxiety, and now that they're eating more, they're lowered. I have a couple of girls coming off medicine they've been on because they're eating more. So these are all things that I've learned as a coach when people are at maintenance. But I cannot wait to get back to it. Anyone else, or any more questions on what maintenance is?
I mean, I was just gonna say that, like, when this isn't the first time I tried like counting my macros and doing this isn't the first time I tried counting my macros. The last time I did it though, the person programmed it and it was very, very low, and I didn't really get any kind of guidance or direction. And I didn't also get any kind of guidance or directions when it came to working out. And I lost a lot of weight and it came off super, super quickly. And some people were concerned that I lost way too much weight. But I didn't just lose body fat, I lost muscle mass too, which I love having muscles. And learning that, and I even put it in what I think my last check-in, that food is not an enemy, is just amazing, because I feel like I'm enjoying life, but I have lost weight. I haven't lost a ton, but I've lost enough that I'm fitting in clothes again that I have been able to fit in a while. And my dryer is done. So and just fitting in clothes I haven't fit in a while, and I'm back. I'm confident again in my two pieces, and I'm still in maintenance. I haven't even cut yet, and I'm feeling this good about myself. And I hasn't even, my clothes are fitting again, and the scale doesn't matter. The images that I see week to week, and the first week and now is I'm a completely different. I feel like I feel like I'm myself again. I lost myself. I got divorced. I found myself, and then I lost myself again, and now I'm back. So like, I'm excited that I pushed my cut back because I have lots of things coming up.
Yeah,
But
that
I'm
was
excited to see what will happen when I cut, if this is what I'm seeing and I haven't even started yet. And I get to eat like great food. Like, I think that's the thing is, I'm sick, so I can't eat when I'm sick. I only want to eat carbs. So I've tried yesterday and today to really make sure I'm balancing it. But I feel really happy that I was able to have a bagel this morning and not feel guilty that I messed everything up, because I didn't mess anything up. I didn't mess anything. As a matter of fact, I didn't even hit any of my numbers, but I did my best. So
yes. And Penny, guys, Penny had, and a couple people have done this, and it's such an amazing thing for me to read. People are asking to push back their cuts. Now, that is a huge mental win that you guys probably don't even realize, because usually people come in here wanting to cut right away. Hi, nice to meet you. When can I drop my calories? Hi, like, I want to eat less. I want to eat less. And the fact that like some of you guys have learned that, wait, I need to get my calories up for a cut to even be successful. And wait, I'm seeing body composition changes eating more, and I'm coming stronger eating more. Why am I going to rush into this cut where I'm not going to really be able to put on muscle? And I'm not, like, my sleep might be a little bit affected. My energy might be affected. Let's push that back. I have a couple, I have my birthday. I have Mother's Day. I'm going to want to enjoy those. Let me enjoy those at maintenance, and then find a 10-week period where I don't have as many social events. So um these check-ins when you guys are asking for this is so awesome, and it just shows so much mental growth. And Penny was one of you guys where the fact that she didn't come in at maintenance either. We had to build her up. She was eating like 1,400 calories or even less on some days. So she's seen this body comp while going up to, what are you up to now? Like, you're up to 21 or 2,000?
I mean, close to 21, like
Yeah.
2000, like 84 or something. But
Right.
yeah.
From 1,400. Like, that's awesome. That's huge. And now when she does cut and I can drop her down to like 1,500, 1,600, that's a significant gap, right? If she came in at 1,400 calories and asked me to cut her, I'm gonna drop her to 1,000 calories where she's like a slug and miserable, and she looks older. And like, you can tell the women that have dieted their whole lives, smoked cigarettes, and done cardio, their faces look like they're 9,000 years old, right? So okay, yeah, maybe they're in like a size 4 gene, but they look 60 years older than they are, right? And I don't think any of us want that. So we want ourselves to feel the best we can. And I guess cuts happen, cuts come and go. But we really want to enjoy that maintenance, and everyone can make progress at maintenance. That you're not just sitting still. But you have
Well,
to
I'm glad Penny said that too, because so many people, like some of my clients, don't want to post pictures, but I always like tell them that's a lot of the times that's how you're going to see, most of the time that's how you're going to see any type of progress. So I'm glad that you just said that, because I know it's hard taking pictures of yourself, but I feel like you're happy in the end because you're like, wow, I really see like what's happening.
Yeah, so many people are like, oh my God, the scale didn't move, but that picture looks so different. So I promise you, please take them. No one looks good in these, guys. You could be a supermodel. If you're standing straight on in daylight, not tan because it's winter out, they're not going to be that flattering, right? No, like, you're going to nitpick your body because that's just how we are, but you're going to see change. No one's ever taken a picture and been like, oh crap, I gained, like, I look bigger. Has little, if you followed this even to like 60%, my post the other day, if you did 0% before you signed up. So even if you're not doing great, but you're doing 40% better, you're still doing 40% better. That's a huge change, right? It was way better than 0 than you did, before you got here.
CJ, I can kind of add to just the maintenance part.
Please.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've only been here for 4 months, so I'm still new. I've never really had a good relationship with food. I was the pickiest eater, if you can imagine. And I was always an emotional eater too. Like as soon as something would happen, I go down the bag of chips and into a second one. And I finally feel like I wasn't eating enough when I was with my old trainer, and I was working out too much, and my body getting it back into maintenance. I finally felt good about myself. Like I was losing weight because my body needed the nutrition to keep up with the fitness. I got off my antidepressant in the last 4 months.
Wow.
And I have ulcerative colitis. So my body attacks itself and is inflamed for most of the time. I've been in remission for over a year now since my last flare during COVID. And I'm actually going to talk to my doctor next week or the week after about toning down my infusions, because after I get them, I'm actually too backed up, which is the opposite issue. So being in maintenance has completely changed my life, even if the scale didn't go down, which it did, because I don't know, it was weird. But
your stress level went down because
exactly my
working yourself.
anxiety, my stress level, and my body, again, like Stephanie was saying, was healing itself from the inside. So maintenance is the place to be.
Word, preach. And yes, again, some of us do have more weight to lose, and you will get there, right? I promise you will get there. But it really is. And again, a lot of you are finally starting to really commit to the lifting. And that's going to make a difference too. But again, everyone will get there on their own pace. But just realize that this whole thing is not about just slashing calories. That's not what we're about. It's not good for you. Like, it's really not. Like, the fact that there's so many things out there, programs, drugs, this, to stop you from being hungry, should just not make sense to anyone with any kind of like brain, right? Like, wait, this is going to stop me from being hungry and stop me from eating. That is like literally the one thing in water that you need to stay alive. Like, that just doesn't make sense.
CJ?
Yeah.
She froze.
Oh no.
Are you there?
Ah, snots. Yeah, I'm here. I had such a great speech. Am I back?
Hello?
I think she froze again.
Yep, she's frozen. At least she looks good in the picture. But Kara, can I ask you a question about the CBD really quickly while CJ's frozen?
Sure.
Do you ever hear of the zebra CBD oil?
I feel like I have, but I really don't know much about it.
Okay, I'm so curious because that was what I was taking. But can you send the CBD stuff you were talking about, like the link or whatever? Did you send it in the?
No, but I can.
Yeah, can you do that? And that way I could take a look at it. Because I just asked my dad and I were taking, but that's like, I don't know if you could see it, like the zebra. I don't know if you've ever I'm curious to know.
Just so you know, full spectrum versus broad spectrum is full spectrum has a trace amount of THC in it. That's why it's technically wouldn't be safe unless that's something you're comfortable with while you're pregnant. Broad spectrum has no THC in it at all.
So full spectrum has THC.
Yeah, so it's like normally when they say full spectrum, and it's like a 0.3%. So it's so little that it really doesn't do anything. Obviously, that's why it doesn't have, hallucinatory effects. If anything, full spectrum just maybe reduces pain slightly.
Okay.
But pretty much the same effect, but broad spectrum is a safer option if that's something, you're looking for. And then also, even if, you're someone in general just does not want THC at all.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yeah. But yeah, I can send the link for that. And I'm pretty sure I have friends and family too. So if anyone's interested,
Oh, cool.
$10 off.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm back. Hi.
Okay.
All right. So the last question, we'll try and wrap up by 8:30. It's a good one that I have a lot of opinions on. but I guess I'll go Steph, you can go first or I can go first, doesn't matter. But
What, the
positive,
family one, right?
yeah, positive ways to stay the course when family members question your fitness journey and or aren't supportive. So I'm
I
gonna
feel
be
like,
go ahead.
oh, sorry, CJ.
No, you can go.
My answer might be a little bit funnier than yours because my family knows that, like, I just use my stomach as an excuse a lot of the time too, because some I just feel like everyone's always like has something to say. So like now even my husband will like say things when people ask me, they're like, what are you, why aren't you drinking? Or why aren't you eating that? Or why aren't you, oh, you're not gonna get pizza or you're not, and I'm like, yeah, because I don't want to shit my pants on the way home. Like, like I always just use like like I always just like make a joke about it, or I always try to be like, well, I don't understand. Why would I eat that if it makes me feel like shit? I just like, and I know it's like a little, maybe people aren't as forthcoming or like as like aggressive as that, but I feel like my whole life everyone's always said comments to me like, you're not going to drink or you're not going to eat. And at this point in my life I'm like, no, because I don't feel good when I do that, and I don't want to wake up and feel hungover. I don't want to wake up and feel like shit. Like, I want to get up, I want to go to the gym, I want to function about my day. That's why I'm not doing that. But I don't know, like, because I say that to my sister and she'll be like, some of us can't speak to people like that.
So I mean, and usually, well, I guess Steph I would say that is nicer than me, but maybe not. She's probably she gets her job done. Like if someone's not supportive of this, there's really this is not a drug. This is not a
Yeah.
restrictive program. This is not, supplements that someone's selling you. This is not a pyramid scandal. This is not making you drink your food and not eat it. So there's literally nothing to be unsupportive about in this. This is eating food you like, eating more foods that you like, focusing on your overall well-being and getting stronger, which has literally no downside in the world. So if someone is being judgmental on you, I guess maybe counting your calories, maybe that's what they're attacking, right? Because you're weighing and logging food, and to some people that just seems ridiculous. You can I'm big with analogies, right? Like, would you get in a car to go to California and just guess? No, you'd never fucking get there. Right. So if you have a goal of being a healthier version and the best version of yourself, you need a plan. You need to track, right? If you want to become a millionaire one day, you just do whatever you want with your money. No, you have structure, you organize it, you budget, right? You want to save for a house. You have so we are so structured and detail oriented in so many other aspects of our life, but the second it comes to health and food, people get very standoffish, and it is 1000% because they're not secure in it,
Well, I
or
was
they
just
wouldn't
gonna
be saying
say,
it,
I
right?
just read something on that.
It's 1000%. No one is 5'9", 140 pounds, 20% body fat is coming up to you and being like, why are you counting your macros? Because they know what it takes. Okay. So not to be rude, but usually if that person looks the person who's giving you a hard time, you don't want to look or feel like them.
Yeah.
Right. I've never gotten a snarky comment from a smoke show that I want to look like. Cause you know what? They're probably doing the same shit that I am. It's usually from the people that don't feel good about themselves, and therefore they try and bring you down with them, right? Okay.
My leave replacement right now, she's been with me like the past 2 weeks following me around. She is so cute. She's like actually she's doing the same thing, but she's going to like bikini shows. I forget exactly like what they call them. So I was telling her like I got certified. I'm a coach now. My coworker does the macros, and we were talking about it, and she was like, "Oh my God, you have no idea how relieved I am to be with two people that actually understand, because it's just so frustrating to try to explain people that I'm in a cut right now, and people will offer me like a food or this or that." And she's actually so strict right now that her coach even doesn't let her chew gum because her show is like June 5th, and they said that gum even causes like bloating in the body because of the air that, something I just learned, because I was like, holy shit, what? You can't chew gum? And then she was like, but it's so relieved to be around people that actually understand. I don't have to explain myself. So I feel like it is like frustrating, but it's also like if you're doing it, you kind of get the work you're putting in and people appreciate it, you know?
Yeah. So, and I also don't think that like you should ever like when you answer these people, I get not being rude, right? But don't like poke fun at yourself or like make fun of yourself either and dumb down the fact that you're taking your health seriously. So like don't be like, yeah, I know it's stupid, but I'm doing it. It's not. It's not stupid. And speak up for yourself because you're doing the right thing. You're taking care of yourself. You're prioritizing your health and fitness. Don't like downgrade what you're doing just to make them feel better about an answer. Um, Again, because 99.9% of the time, the people who are not supportive, you are trying to not be like. You might love them to death, but you don't want to end up like them. Like my parents are very fit, right? Like but they are broken. Like my mom is always so tired. She's so little. My dad should have 74 knee replacements and hip replacements. So like, they judge a little bit on like how much I eat because my mom eats like a bird. Love her to death, but I don't want to be a little feeble. She lifts like kidney bean cans for, her workout. Like I don't want to be like that. I want to be stronger. So even though I love them with all my heart, I'm going to advocate for myself and tell them like, yeah, we're different. I want to be stronger. I want to be able to do this. And that's it. But I'm not going to be like, yeah, whatever, it's stupid. Just give me the pizza or like, you know, you have enough knowledge now too that smack them in the face with some knowledge, right? Like give them some education back. Be like, oh, really? Because this is why this, or like, and they're gonna be like, okay, maybe I was wrong. Like people are filled with such false narratives that they don't understand, and they're just insecure, right? And we all are too. Like there's a little piece of us that's insecure as well in little things, but
I also feel like just telling them like I just don't feel good when I
right.
eat like that, or I just don't, especially with my family is like 100% Sicilian. When I told them I can't eat gluten, they were like, "What?" They're like, "Uh, what?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not eating the pasta." And my whole family like stared at me like, "You what?" I'm like, "I just don't feel good when I eat it." And then my one cousin came from Italy and she was gluten free and everybody was like, "I'm like, oh, but okay." So now everybody gets it.
I also think if you have kids, if you respond to people like, I just want to be better for my children,
Yeah.
nobody's going to come back with a comment and be like, oh, that's bullshit or that's a stupid idea. Like,
That's a great, yeah.
I think, yeah, if you give a positive affirmation, and I mean, thankfully, most of the people in my life are understanding, but, if you just point out that you're doing it to be better, I think it shuts down any sort of negative response people are going to come back with, because nobody's like, well, you want to be better. Well, that's just a stupid idea.
Yeah.
No, that's a great point to like for the kids comment, right? You want to be
Yeah, like
better.
I want to
Yeah.
be healthy and active and be able to be there for my kids in 10 years. So
And set a good example, right? Like big time. No, that was a good one. And if anyone's ever really a dick to you about it, tell me who they are. Just kidding.
I was gonna say, so when I only started this like 4 weeks ago, but like my family is not relatively healthy, but my dad always works out, but we eat a lot, and he can't like fathom the fact that you can still have like, we went over for dinner and he was like, oh, well, we can't get Chinese food because Rachel's on her new plan now. And I'm like, because he's always into the keto and he's into the fad things, and he can't like grasp, like, no, I can have Chinese food. I worked out this morning. Like I can, like, it's not gonna, I'm not gonna die. Like, and
Right.
they do not get it yet.
Hit
So
them with some information. There you go. Be like, yeah, I'm not going to order the General Tso's fried and thick, but there's plenty that I can eat. And again, it's also not going to put on I'm not going to, well, actually, I don't know. Chinese food, sometimes I do put on 4 pounds the next day, but it does come off.
Chinese brutal.
Yeah, I know, right? The sodium, but Greek too. Greek kills me. We're Steph's not here, but another Steph. But that's a good point, right? Like people who are so into fad diets, it's hard for them to believe that it's actually a lot simpler, right? Like you're like, wait, what do you mean? I can eat carbs, fats, and proteins and not have to work. Like they almost like more rules, so it's tricky for them to understand that. Like
They like to be hard on themselves. Like
yeah,
it's 0 to 100. It's not like a changing gradually. Like they can't wrap their head around it.
Right. And that's a lot of people like the all or nothing mentality, right? Too. That's a big one. We could definitely do a whole Zoom one day on those kind of things. But that's a good point. And it's just again, advocate for yourself, educate people. They might not take it, right? It might go in one ear and out the other. I know plenty of people like that with me, but I'm always going to tell them. And I'm like, if they ask or if they bring it up, I'm never going to just preach information to people because that's annoying. But if they do bring it up and they give me a hard time or they ask questions, tell them about it, talk to them about it, see what like they think, and spread the
Yeah,
word. There's too many
I was
people.
gonna say too, that also though, like if you tell, I get a lot of free food at work. It's like there's always food coming in and out. We just with my company, like every day there's always something new. There's always way too much. And it's so easy to go into the break room and just grab whatever they happen to be having that day. And it's good. It's like they get Greek and they get pizza and they get Panera and they get like Moe's sometimes. So it's just unfair. But um when I was like, okay, I can't do that anymore, the lunches that I would bring in were even more satisfying. So it was like, yeah, but okay, I could have Greek, but I know that it's not going to one fill me up. It's gonna, make me feel terrible after I eat it. But this bowl that I'm making with rice or quinoa or lots of vegetables, high protein, it's gonna make me feel satisfied, make me happy. And I just kept it's even now to the point where people don't even ask if I want to if I want to order anything, because they know that I'm just going to say no, because if I'm coming into work, I brought my breakfast with me and I already have my lunch. It's as simple as that. And I mean, now I have two coworkers who have seen what I've done and have
Join the
signed
squad.
on.
Yeah.
So, and it's and I always said for me is like even when it was like how it must be hard to do, and I'm like, it's not, because I get to eat so much delicious food. How can it be bad if I'm eating all this delicious food? So, and I mean, it really is. So, I mean, I have to say that I'm eating more things and trying new things that I would never even think about trying to have as like a dinner. Like I made the healthy potato salad and I hate mustard, but it called for mustard, so I made it anyway and it was delicious.
There you go.
So,
that's good. And again, like obviously the far end of this is if whoever this is or whatever friend this might be or family member this might be, if they're constantly nagging on you, then they're not who you probably think they are. And I mean, I'm a little bit more aggressive in the fact that I never have to speak to you again and my life has not changed. But no one would, like Jamie said, no one could possibly argue with the fact that you want to be a better version of yourself. And if they're saying that this is not a better version, you guys know enough to completely come back and verbal judo them with that, right? Like, oh, really? Because I'm eating more food, I'm sleeping better, I'm losing weight, I'm stronger, my hair's thicker, my skin's clearer. Like that person obviously has other issues, right? So, and you have this community, right? Like I am obsessed with every single person in here, and I wish maybe one day I'll make the Zoom like mandatory or else you get cut from the program, just because I just want everyone to see everyone. But everyone that comes on these Thursdays and Tuesdays, you guys have each other's back. Like it's awesome. I love reading the group chat. You guys are so supportive. And like remember, like we're here for you when like those jerks knock you down. And even if you give in every once in a while and they're like, here, have a like, why aren't you drinking? Have a drink. And you do, don't be upset with yourself either. Like peer pressure is a crazy thing. It works a ton. Like last Saturday, I wasn't supposed to drink. Guess who did, right? I did. But I'm not mad at myself. I know the people around me, if I really was like, no, I'm good, they wouldn't have. But I get, people make comments all the time at like work and whatnot, like, oh, like no treats for Luda, she's doing this. And again, most of the time it's okay because I just think in my head, well, I'll be looking like this when you look like that. right? So don't say that to them, but if they need to hear that, maybe you should say that to them.
I always get at work like you're eating again.
I
And
hate
like
when people say that to me.
I was a big eater before I got pregnant. During my pregnancy, my customers were always bringing me food. My coworkers always made food. And like I love food. Like I don't discriminate. Like I could eat. I have empty plate syndrome.
Yeah.
But like today, I went to Redefine and I got a meal and I had lunch with my partner. And then 2 hours later, I had a pump and I was still hungry because the Redefine meals, like, they're good, but they're not like as something like we would make.
Oh, some
Right,
of them
they're
are like
small.
300 calories.
Yeah, this one was like 400 calories. I was like, I need like 600 calories per meal. So like I sat down and my coworker was like, again? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah. Yeah, and like everyone's just trying to, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. And my mom is always like, you eat a lot.
It's also funny too, like when people are like, you're eating again, or wow, you eat a lot. And then again, you look at their health and you're like, just because you don't eat in front of me, I know what you're doing when you get home. Like, you're not fooling anybody. So be as judgmental as you want because I eat out in public, or I'm not afraid to like have a big portion. But we all know what you do at 10 o'clock at night when the lights go off, Sally, because look at your health, right? Or like maybe you don't eat all day Monday through Friday, but then on the weekends you are going hard. Like that's also not healthy. So everyone has their own shit, but again, we're very lucky that we have everyone here to like back us up, and you're learning the actual truth of why things are getting done. And again, education is, this is so corny, but like knowledge is power, and it's so true, right? The more you actually know, it clicks and you understand. So that always helps. But are we good? It's almost 9 o'clock. Oh my God. I didn't even have my dessert yet.
It's past
Anyone?
my bedtime.
All right. So next Tuesday, Steph will not be here. It'll be just me. I'm going to debate. I'm either going to put up a Q&A, or I might do like a mindset one that's not like, I don't want like a whiny session, but I think it would be interesting to talk about like people who think all or nothing, or, you know, I'm going to quit because I'm not seeing change, or just like how to overcome like just things with like your mind a little bit more. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on it. Not like again, I'm not for like this is like a whiny thing, but maybe like a more of like a mental side one. But I'll put out like a poll and we'll figure it out. But it'll be Tuesday. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Remember, I'm going to be off the grid a little bit Saturday into Sunday. Still text me though, so I can answer them all when I come back. Again, it's only probably going to be 24 hours, and I'll probably be on my phone a little bit, but I brought a water case.
Yeah, who are you kidding?
I know. I'll try.
CJ, are you gonna wear a bikini?
I think so. I think
You
so.
have to.
I think
You
I'm
have
gonna wear a
to.
sports bra because I don't need these nursing boobs to like fall out of a bikini and trip some little kid or something. I don't know. So, I think I'm gonna wear a sports
Godspeed a
bra.
great wolf.
What?
I said Godspeed a great wolf, honey. I did that once. Never again.
My friend said it's gonna not be my cup of tea, but I'm gonna bring my business cards and I'm gonna hand them out because I heard it's a land of unfit people.
Are you going to be drinking while you're there?
Should I be honest, or should I tell you what I should be doing?
I'm telling you, you should be drinking while you're there.
Yes, I'll be having some adult beverages on Saturday.
Okay. I'm like, let me tell you, as someone who survived that, you need to drink if you want to make it through.
This is good advice. I'm never going.
And if you have any phobias about germs, oh God, don't even think about it.
Oh yeah, I'm not going.
Oh yeah, luckily I don't really care. I don't care about that stuff, but yeah, it's definitely pee water.
Ew.
If I can swim in the Cherry Grove, you guys don't know, only my Long Island girls know. If I can swim in the Cherry Grove pool, I can swim anywhere.